I'm going to try and keep this one short, but it's just to add a bit of context to this first video about Verstappen's audio, the first part. So my next video will be taking you through the audio from when Latifi crashed through to the end of the race and show you what that was about, because that's not authentic either. But what I did, I purposefully played it through to you so you got to hear, with 21 laps to go, what Red Bull was saying for the first 10 of them and how frequently they were updating Max with the situation relative to Lewis Hamilton and what inputs that he could do to his car to extract the most performance out of it, whether it was adjusting brake balance, whether it's changing engine mode settings in order to give that car the best chance of setting fast lap times and hopefully closing that gap. With 11 laps to go, that went silent. The only updates given to Max for 5 laps was informing him that 4 cars ahead of him were going to get blue flags when he lapped them, and that was it. No information about the state of the gap between him and Hamilton. No advice, no context about brake balance adjustments or engine mode adjustments to maximize his performance. No encouragement. No saying to him, keep going, Max. We've just got 10, 11 laps to go and still anything can happen. We know he's on old tyres. They might drop off, and if they do, then he's going to be losing 2 seconds, 3 seconds a lap possibly. And if you just keep pushing and that happens, you'll get him. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Keep that pressure on. Keep having to make him push, because if you make him push, then there's a greater chance of his tyres dropping off. Don't give him an easy ride of this. As a sports person, as a team, as a coach of a team, as a manager, these are the sorts of inputs you give to your players, your competitors. This is what you do. You don't see a game of football and a team are 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and the coach just go and take himself down the tunnel and sit in the dressing room. Doesn't happen. Why is that? You don't just see him resign himself to defeat and just go, oh yeah, we'll just leave it. And these comments that we're getting in the comments section to this are like, oh, they just didn't want to tell him that he wasn't making any progress because they didn't want to demoralise him. They just wanted to let him do his thing and keep him in the zone. You don't throw £125 million at a competition, entering a competition, okay, and with 10 laps of the entire season to go, just go, oh, yeah, just leave him now. Just leave him. Just don't say anything to him. Don't tell him things that can help that car go faster. Don't try and keep him motivated. Don't tell him of the things that could be motivational to him, which are potential. Yeah, they're unlikely, but you still got to keep him as sharp as possible and as hungry as possible, and do your very best to put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and get that outcome you so desire. This is sport. This is the psychology of sport. These are all important things that these experts in the comment section, these people that want to present themselves as being critical thinkers, like to ignore. They think that they are critically thinking by saying, oh, maybe his race engineer realised that it'd just be giving him information that would demoralise Max by telling him the gap wasn't going down, so therefore left him to his own devices. That's one possible explanation, one that I considered prior to even posting the video, because I consider all of these things, because that's what it is concerning when you are able to critically think, critically analyse shit, when you look at all eventualities, not just the eventuality that validates the opinion that you have. You have to look at the whole context, and that context does involve the notion that nobody was presenting that we were on the verge of watching an 8-time world champion be crowned. Nobody was mentioning that. Nobody was building that up. It was all about Max, wasn't it? In the Sky commentary, it was all about Max. That's a bit bizarre. And for 10 laps since that virtual safety car, we were getting lap by lap updates. We were getting what that gap is. Motivational. Yes, you're closing. This is what you can do. This is how you can adjust your brake balance. These are the engine modes. Use this engine mode. Do this. Do this. Giving him the information. And then we need a miracle. We need the racing gods to intervene. And silence. Just leave him to his own devices for 5 laps. Not encourage him. Not give him the information which is going to get him to put the car into modes which are going to be the best to get the quickest race time. Not give him the information that is going to give him the best possible chance in that race. Not impress upon him. Keep it going, mate. Keep it going. Okay? Because you never know. All it takes is a little mistake and you could be winning this. All it takes is a little mistake. It could be a puncture, bit of misfortune. Anything can happen, and you could be on this. Keep it going. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. That's what anybody involved in sport will do. They won't walk off down the tunnel and sit in the dressing room with 10 minutes of the game left. And if they do, they'll be out of a job. So, those of you that want to present reasons and validations for what you think you saw, what you took from that video, good luck to you. Okay, that's one possible explanation taken out of the context of the whole. That's one possible explanation taken out of the context of the whole, because you've not even looked at what happened from the moment in time Latifi crashed onwards, which is going to be my next video. And I said, most of you don't realise you've been lied to by F1 TV. You don't realise you've been lied to by Sky Sports F1. You don't realise that the whole of this presentation about what was possible, resuming racing with lapped cars in situ, is not even possible. So this is information for these newbies that want to jump up in the comment section and tell us what they think that they know. This is part of my issue. Part of the problem I'm having is that in an ideal world, I would have presented 6 or 8 videos maximum, presented all that needed to be presented relating to this, and that would have been enough to change it. But it hasn't happened. And what I have to do is keep making presentations, because if I make one video and say, well, this is how the whole situation is, then that video gets seen by 600 people. 600 people will know what the situation is, and that's it. It hasn't achieved anything, has it? So I need to keep exposing everything and exposing the different facets of it, and bit by bit building that picture. We're all learning, we're all seeing new things, because everybody's can pick certain things out that then causes us to look even deeper into certain things. So this is the process, and it might seem repetitive to some. It might seem though that I'm saying similar things in certain videos, but it needs to be done this way because it's the only way of getting more and more people to see it. Otherwise, you'll do a video, it will get 600 views, and then it will die a death. So I need to find a way of gradually building an audience and ensuring that more and more people get to see what really took place. And then we'll gradually put this all together and have a full account of exactly what took place, that we've been able to drill down to from all the things that we can evidence. So I'm going to call it a day on this one. I want to thank everybody that has been with this channel for a long time, or who is, even if you're fairly new, but is a genuine person that stands for integrity. To me, it doesn't matter who you support as a driver. What matters is that you've got integrity and you can acknowledge that this was corrupt, and what what was presented to us all was entirely wrong. It was a crime, and it needs to be dealt with. We saw a robbery, we saw a fraud on global television, and it needs sorting out. And it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. If you're able to recognise that, that's all that matters. Now, if it is, or if there are certain people in the sport that are authentic, then there is an individual who was robbed of a valid accomplishment, and that is something that's just totally unacceptable. So, if that's the case, Lewis Hamilton needs to be recognised for his valid accomplishment. But what we always have to be mindful of is how authentic is this sport, and how long has it not been authentic? Because what we're seeing, what we're uncovering about Abu Dhabi 2021 is that entire thing appears to be contrived. That ending appears to be contrived by all of those competitors in the sport in one way or another, as I've exposed in the other thing, in terms of the reactions of the teams and the fact that they're just compliant with breaking the rules of the sport. So where else have things been contrived in this sport and people haven't necessarily identified it? It was just for the fact that Abu Dhabi was that blatant. People just you couldn't get away with that. Well, they have so far, but they're not gonna. So once again, thank you for your continued support. I just wanted to keep this one fairly short, just to talk about the dynamics of this, that by making more videos, by getting a bigger audience, it's going to attract trolls, it's going to attract these sorts of deadhead comments, and they don't like it when you dismiss their comments. They want to say, oh, well, you're the type of person that's just going to dismiss my opinion. That's not very nice. Well, it's because your opinion's rubbish, but you don't understand that your opinion's rubbish because you don't understand the whole dynamics of the situation. But you think that you're right, and you don't like it when you're told you're wrong, and you go, oh, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. No, just have. You don't understand, off you go and have a look at the other videos, go and educate yourself. Oh, you don't know anything, you're okay. This is the sorts of deadheads we're dealing with. Okay, so it is what it is. This is the nature of the wonderful thing that is social media. But we will continue, and bit by bit we will get there. See you all soon.